Welcome to a Disney point of view ride experience from the Magic Travel Guy. Today we head to Disney's Animal Kingdom for the Kilimanjaro Safaris, where we'll set off in an open-air vehicle for a guided tour of an African savanna and spot live animals roaming free. This video was shot using a Samsung S10 Plus and a DJI Gimbal Mobile 3 during our June 2021 vacation.
Keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle. Also make sure we keep those face coverings on over our nose, mouth, and chin at all times. Please, and thank you guys. Alright, we're going to start our journey today in the Little Ituri Forest. Little Ituri Forest is home to a lot of animals who are very good at camouflage. So keep your eyes peeled on those bushes for a few minutes. Guys, look up all the way to the right. Hiding in that tree is an okapi. Now, the okapi have those white and black stripes on their rear that make them look like they're related to the zebra. But in fact, they are the only known relation to the giraffe. Now, we know this because of the shape of their face as well as their long, prehensile tongue. Their tongue is so long that they can actually touch their eyeball with it. Okay, get a little bit better view here, guys, on the right. Oh, we are coming up on a watering hole on the left-hand side here, guys. Usually that's a pretty good place to spot some animals. It doesn't look like anyone's getting any water today. Let's keep on moving. Oh, guys, look up to the right, up in those bushes. You'll see some darker colored antelope. Those are bongo. Now, the bongo are known as the ghosts of the forest. That is because they are so good at hiding. They can also run pretty quickly through the thickets using those horns on their head. They can run about 35 miles an hour through trees, which is pretty crazy. Alright guys, now we are heading out of the Little Ituri Forest and into the Safi River Valley. Now, Safi River is home to a lot of Nile animals, such as the Nile crocodile and the Nile hippopotamus. So keep your eyes peeled on the water. Alright guys, when we're looking for the hippo, we're going to want to look under the surface of the water. They're sometimes a little hard to see, but they like to go under there during the day as a way to cool off. They will sleep most of their day, but at night they will get up and walk on the banks. They'll walk about 2 miles away from their home in search of vegetation. They'll eat about 80 to 90. Wait, look right there, guys. You'll see a hippo right on the bottom of the water there. Now, hippos don't actually swim. They do just push themselves along the bottom of whatever water source they are in. But they can go pretty deep. Alright, so up on that island with them is a large white bird. Now that bird is called a pink-backed pelican, and that is because its back turns pink during mating season. Ooh, another one. Very cool. Alright guys, as we go over this bridge, I'm going to go very slowly because there are usually some Nile crocodile posted up underneath it to the left. And they are a very territorial species, so I like to go slow in their area because they have that very strong jaw bite. They can crush about 2,000 pounds of pressure with their jaw. But despite this, they can still be very gentle. They will transport their eggs in their mouth with their first leg, and they'll also hatch. Now guys, both the male and the female raise the children, so they are very familial species, very misunderstood. And now we are moving out of the forest and into the savanna. And I can tell that because the trees are getting a little taller and the foliage is getting a little lighter. Now, as we make our way through the savanna, you may notice some tree branches and some tree trunks laying on the ground. This is because elephants will knock these things out of their way as they move through the savanna. And this actually helps the smaller animals get access to water by using these parts of the tree. Now, one of those trees that they're going to depend on, guys, is this tree to my right, the large baobab tree. And the baobab tree is also known as the tree of life. and that is because it is full of life-saving water on the inside. Now, water is a very scarce resource to these animals out on the savanna, so they're really going to depend on tree branches and tree bark in order to get that vital resource. Now, baobab tree is becoming an increasingly rare sight in the African savanna, so along with our animals, we are working hard to conserve this, to keep that circle of life going. Guys, now we're making our way out onto the savanna, as I'm sure you can already see. There are quite a few animals out here that are very well known. Not seeing any right now, but hopefully we'll see some a little further down. We are coming up on a den on the left-hand side, and that's usually a pretty good place to spot some predators. Oh, look, they're up on the top of that rock structure, up on the top of that cave. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. They're back there by the tree. Look at that. You can see them kind of laying back in there. One of them just got up. Those are African wild dogs. There you go. He's back there on that rock wall. Those African wild dogs are also known as painted dogs, or even then a lion. Now, 90% of the time when these guys go out on a hunt, they will be successful. And the way they are so successful is they run their prey down until their prey is too exhausted to stand, and then they drag them back home. Alright, guys, look all the way out to the left here. Those antelope in the very back Wildlife Reserve. They also have those horns on their head that are going to prevent predators from jumping on their back. Now, this gray animal out here is the wildebeest. The wildebeest is the largest land-herding animal in the world, herding up to 1.5 million animals together in one herd. Now, the way they stay together is they have these scent glands on their hooves, so as they run, they leave a barely traceable scent behind, so that anyone who gets stranded from the herd can then easily find their way back.
Up there, giraffe. Where? Up there, on the hill. Giraffe, right up there.
Oh, yeah.
Two of them. Three of them.
As we come around this corner, look to the right.
Four of them.
We're going to see an animal with some very large horns on its head, and those are a collie cow. Now, the Ankole cow is the only domesticated animal on this reserve. They are domesticated not for their milk or for their hide, but as a sign of wealth to many tribes in Africa. It is said that the more full your cow's coat is, the more wealthy you are. You're going to see a zebra on the left. Those are Hartman's mountain zebra, a very playful type of zebra. Now, there are three main types of zebra. The common zebra, the grevy zebra, and the mountain zebra. Have any of you ever wondered if zebra is white with black stripes or black with white stripes? I know I did before I worked here, and I found out that they're actually both. So the common zebra and the mountain zebra are both a black zebra with white stripes, and the grevy zebra is a white zebra with black stripes. Now, the way you can tell the color of their true coat is the color of their nose. Now, if their nose is black, you know their true coat is black, and if their nose is white, then their true coat is white. Now, guys, over here on the left, you're going to see some Maasai giraffe. Now, the giraffe do stand at about 7 vertebrae in their neck, which is the same amount as a human. Now, they do have the highest blood pressure of any land animal. This is because they have to pump blood all the way up to their head and then all the way back down. Now, this makes their heart very large. It can grow to be about 2 feet long, as well as weigh about 25 pounds.
Oh, there's one crossing the road in front of us. Crossing in front of the vehicle. Oh, look, there it goes.
Give us just 1 second, guys. We're going to try to get the zebra out of the road. See if I can nudge it.
Here comes, she's got food for it.
There we go. We're going to keep on moving. Alright guys, it looks like there are quite a few trees mowed down in our way up here. Remember how I was saying that's a pretty good sign that elephants are nearby? I have a good feeling we might see some soon, so keep your eyes peeled. Alright guys, look on the left here, you're going to see a mandrill. Mandrill is the largest monkey animal, while the females only weigh about 30.
Up on the rock.
Don't see any elephants yet. Oh, look guys, to the right, almost stop a little bit. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of a better view as we go over this bridge up around here. But I'll tell you a little bit about them. Now they have those giant ears on their head, which are actually serves 2 purposes. So one is to keep that animal cool. It can cool them down about 15 degrees. But they'll also use their ears to hear. Look to the right, guys. Great view of that elephant. And while they use their ears to hear just like a human would, they can also pick up very low frequency tones through their feet. And this is actually how they're going to communicate with each other. So everyone knows that elephants have that loud hum that's distinguishable. Now that is actually only really used in defense. When they're just communicating with each other, however, they will use that very low frequency sound that is inaudible to the human ears, but that they can pick up through their feet. Elephants' herds are very matriarchal. Most adults in a herd will be female. Look to the right, guys. See another good view. Most adults will be female with only 1 male, if any. And the females raise the children all together as a group. It's not one mother taking care of her children. It really takes a village as an elephant. Now, if they raise a male elephant, they will raise him to be about 12 or 13 when he hits puberty. And then he will be forced out of the herd to either live a solitary life or to find a herd of his own. Now, elephants are very individualistic. They all have their own mannerisms and personalities, so it's hard to say they will for sure do one thing. But we do know that most adults in a herd are female and that males are mostly solitary. Now guys, elephants are one of the most endangered animals on our reserve. They are endangered because of poaching, but also because they are losing their habitats. Now they're losing their habitats to mining for a substance called coltan. And coltan is something that's used in a lot of technology today, smartphones, laptops, tablets, things like that, that uses coltan. And if you actually have any old technology laying around, you can recycle it at any electronics from friends. But guys, elephants were being forced off of their habitats and onto farmland. And what was happening was they were stampeding farmers' crops and ruining their harvest. So farmers were retaliating because of this. Now, we heard about that here at Harambe, and we decided to do something to prevent the harm of the elephants. And we found out that elephants are actually scared of bees. Now, whether it's because they have very sensitive skin and they're scared of getting the sting, or maybe it's the vibration noises that bees make that scares the elephant for some reason. We're not really sure, but we do know that it works in keeping the elephants away. So we instructed the farmers to put beehives all around their crops, and it worked in protecting both the elephants and the harvest. Now just guys, a nice little reminder, please keep those face coverings on at all times. Thank you very much. Over here on the left, guys, is the greater flamingo. The greater flamingo is the largest species of flamingo, and it's also the lightest color pink. That gets that pink color from its diet. It eats lots of brine shrimp, which is full of beta-carotene, and that beta-carotene turns their feathers pink. Now, when they are first born, they are a grayish color. If you look closely enough, you might see some gray tips on feathers. That means those flamingos are still less than 2. our scimitar horned oryx. Now the scimitar horned oryx is a desert dwelling antelope. So it has evolved to be able to keep its body heat to about 115 degrees, which prevents it from sweating too much. That helps them conserve water, and they can go actually about 9 months without getting any water. Now guys, look all the way out to the left, back behind that tree. You're going to see some white rhinos. The white rhino gets its name not from the color of its coat, but from the shape of its jaw. When we were first introduced to these animals, we heard the Afrikaans word feet, and we misinterpreted it as white, but it actually meant wide, and that's in relation to the shape of their jaw. So the black rhino is actually going to have a prehensile lip with a triangular jaw. That's going to help them peel leaves off of bushes and trees. Whereas the white rhino has a more square jaw, and they're going to use that to chomp on grass and hay. The white rhino is a larger variation of white rhino than the black rhino. They can weigh about 5,000 pounds, where the black rhino only weighs about 3,000. So guys, let's look up in the shadow of these trees here, see if you can see movement, because there's usually an animal who likes to hang out here, who is very good at camouflage. Oh, look, kind of behind this tree here, you can see him, or her. That is a cheetah. Cheetah can run, is the fastest land animal. Not a very good picture, guys. Sorry, I'm not going to stop. They are the fastest land animal, running up to 60 miles an hour, and they can get that fast in about 3 seconds. So if you guys have ridden Rock and Roller Coaster over at Hollywood Studios, it's about like that takeoff. That's what a cheetah can do. Although they are built for speed, they are not very much built for strength. So they will accommodate for this by hunting mostly during the daytime, keeping their prey safe from larger nighttime predators. They have evolved to have these tear streak stains on their eyes that will actually keep the glare of the sun off of their face, allowing them to hunt in the day more easily. And even though they have done all of this, they still are only successful about 15 to 20% of the time when they go out on a hunt. Guys, look to our right, you'll see some more white rhino. There's Bontebok. Now, the Bontebok are completely extinct in the wild, but they do thrive on reserves like this one. That one right there is in fact 14. Well, guys, look up to the left on this little hill. You're going to see two little warthogs. Now, the warthog is the largest of three. The largest land burrowing animal in the world. And to put it in perspective, they are about 3 times the size of a cheetah. So they are pretty large. And they do have 2 sets of tusks. They have those top tusks that are the long ones that they're going to use primarily for digging. They also have a set of bottom tusks that are short and sharp that they're going to use for defense. So when they burrow into a hole, they burrow in and then turn themselves around to face out against anything that might come towards them. Now guys, over here on the right, you're going to see the ostrich is the largest flightless bird. It is also the fastest land animal on 2 legs, running at 45 miles an hour. And in one stride, guys, an ostrich can go about 13 feet forward. Guys, we are coming to the last area of our reserve, and that is Magadi Glen, where our warden lives. Now, our warden recently decided to adopt some pet Nigerian dwarf goats, and he did this because he was having some issues with the crops on his land. He had this thick, thorny underbrush growing around his crops, ruining his harvest, and so he got these little guys to come help out because they just love that stuff. And they are ruminants, so they eat constantly, and they got rid of it for him right quick. They also have a nice sweet milk that's high in protein, and it's pretty fatty, so it can be turned into a cheese and sold for quite a bit as pets, because they are so easy to maintain, and because they do turn that profit. like I said, we are leaving the reserve, and before I let you go today, I would like to talk to you about one more important topic to us here at Disney, and that is conservation. Now, almost every animal you saw out there today is either endangered or threatened out in the wild, and we here at Disney are working hard to keep those lives full and prosperous. Now, we do have something called the Disney Wildlife Conservation Fund, which if you've been out in the park today, I'm sure you've already heard of. But if you haven't, you can donate at any merchandise store in Animal Kingdom. And if you do, you'll get a nifty little pin. But you also get the satisfaction in knowing that you help save a wild animal's life. Now guys, we've managed to raise over $80 million with this foundation. And that money has gone to supporting things like the Elephant Bee Project and reintroducing species back into the wild. So the white rhino, which we saw today, actually used to be an endangered species. But thanks to the efforts of Disney and our conservation partners around the world, we've managed to raise their extinction level up to just threatened instead of endangered, which is pretty cool. So guys, like I said, we are at the end of our reserve, so make sure you have everything you came onto the truck with. That includes phones, bags, and children. And if you guys would like to see any more animals today, be sure to check out the Gorilla Falls Trail at the exit of this ride, as well as the Maharaja Jungle Trek over in Asia. Now, if you would like to pet some animals, be sure to check out Rafiki's Planet Watch and the affection section over there. You can also learn how to draw your favorite Disney animal over at Rafiki's Planet Watch, so it's definitely something fun for the whole family. Guys, if this is your first time at Kilimanjaro Safaris, I would like to say that no two safaris are the same. You'll always see different animals and you'll hear different facts as well. So please come check us out again, ride again later tonight. I promise you will not be upset that you did. But guys, before we go today, I don't like to say goodbye. It feels just a little too final. So instead, I will say Kwaherini, which means go well.
Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and themagictravelguy.com.